we are going to do our observation of soil after I spray it with water. So basically what we're doing with this experiment is seeing what happens to the ground, so the dirt, when it rains. Because we know rain happens, right? And the ground, you may not have even really thought about this before, the ground absorbs the water, sort of like a sponge. If it were to just sit on top, the whole earth would be flooded every time it rained because it needs something to go into. So it gets sucked up into the ground, which we know then shoots it up into the roots and helps our plants grow, right? But what's the deal with puddles, right? So puddles happen when there's too much too fast. So the ground will absorb the water and it will just keep absorbing water until a certain point. Think of a sponge. When the sponge is full, it doesn't have anywhere else to go. So when you keep adding water to a sponge that's full, it's just gonna pour over. Well, in the case of the earth, it turns into a puddle on top, where eventually it will absorb into the soil, but it takes a lot longer. So in the case of when it rains for days and days and days, you see a lot of puddles. You see flooding. That's what flooding is from. It's when there is too much for a long period of time, or when there is too much rain too fast. So sometimes it happens just a few times a year. It doesn't happen every time it rains. There are times where it just seems like there are buckets of water coming out of the sky. They're actually really cool to look at, not a lot of fun to be in. And it's like the entire sky, it feels like a shower. I mean, it's just bucketing down. If you have a rain like that, where there's so much rain happening so fast, the ground can't absorb all that water at once. And so you start to see puddles, you start to see flooding that way. So we are going to do a little experiment today where I'm going to be spraying some soil. And we're going to observe what it looks like after I spray it one time, and then 2 times, and then I'm going to do it a 3rd time. And then your chart goes all the way up to 15, but then I'm going to keep on going and going and going and going until there is a little puddle in here. My finger is going to be very sore by the end of this. But we're going to see at what point does it look like there's puddles inside the cup of soil. Okay, so I'm going to grab my phone and try to get this up close. Let's see if I can shine some light on this. Let's do that. Okay, here we go. So 1, and you're gonna write down what it looks like. And 2, what does it look like? Not a whole lot is happening, right? That's not like real rain. Let's do 3. If you need to pause this to write, I know I'm going kind of fast. 4, 5. Okay, now you don't have to record 6 and 7. 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's starting to look a little wet on top. And now we're gonna observe again at 15. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So what does it look like now? Okay. Not a whole lot of puddles, but it's very wet. Now, here we go. Mrs. Brown's fingers are about to get very tired. Are you ready? 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51. What do you guys notice over there? There's some real puddles happening, right? That's because the soil couldn't possibly take in anymore. So, at what point did you start noticing that? If you need to go back and rewind a little bit to watch again, when do you think you started to see that puddle happening? So basically what happened is this whole cup is full. There's a glare. But it is full of, well, obviously the soil, but now there's so much water in it that it started to overflow the soil. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed our activity. I will see you guys later.